Hi, welcome to Hair Mafia. I'm Tracy.
I'm AJ. Bravo.
Bravo to us.
We've made it to another show.
Yes, we have. And we are still here. So, today,
Yep.
let's just get it all out.
I'm ready. Very ready for this one.
This is going to be a funny, juicy one.
Yeah.
We're just going to start talking about it. These aren't really like crazy client stories or like client horror stories by any means. Horror stories?
If anyone figures out who they are, we love you.
I'm jealous.
We just think your stories are fascinating.
Definitely.
But there's so many questions that you just can't ask. So maybe we're just going to like spill it out like how?
How?
So I guess we should talk about, this is how I want to phrase it. Client relationships and how our female clients always tend to be paired with some narcissist.
Yes.
And that's how we arrive at your hair appointment.
Right.
Because like the word balayage, narcissist is way over and misused.
Very much thrown around, which maybe they are with narcissists. I'm not sure, but I feel like there's a mold of a client. I mean, I can just picture it in my mind now. And
describe her as
blonde for sure, but just
broke off
blonde. Just, I don't know.
Mink lash extensions. No, I'm kidding.
Just all of that stuff. And all that's gorgeous. But I
Yes.
feel like these are women that I've never even met. I'm like, hi, what are we doing with your hair today? My husband's a narcissist, so we're just going to do something. And I'm like, oh.
I need to get him off of me.
I know. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Oh, no, it's not. But I'm like, but what are you doing? Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm like, is it always these men's fault? Because the same people who will say narcissist and they're now divorced or whatever, split up. I'm like, they've also got random dudes coming and buying their hair extensions. And I'm like,
Which is my favorite.
Does he have a brother or a friend? I'm like, because I want my hair extensions bought.
You know what I'm saying?
Sorry,
I'm
Josh.
Josh, it's all good. Well, because too, it's like my favorite is when they're like you just learn not to say anything. And they're like, oh my gosh, I want you to meet John. And I'm like, oh yeah, we met. And she's like, that ain't the one. And you're like,
oh, well then what are you doing? Why are you putting
that's
me
the
in
one
this
that bought my purse.
situation?
This one's buying my new weave. And then they have the nerve to be like, why is this hair so expensive? It's like, you're not even paying for it.
You're not even paying for it. Well, we know how you're paying for it, but why does that matter to us?
The classic currency of coochie coupons.
Yeah. Definite.
Money ain't the only thing that talk. Okay, it might scream. No, but so they'll sit down and they're just like, oh my God. It always starts with like a breakup or like the cusp of a breakup.
Right.
And they're like, I found this. Well, it's kind of a mix. Sometimes it's like really sad. They're like,
Well, true.
I went through his Facebook Messenger and he's trying to delete all these messages. And I'm like, this lady took it in stride. She was like, oh, I don't care. But I was like, dang, why'd that happen to you? And then these deep freezer built bitches got like 6 dudes and they'll be like, and he better buy me blah, 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 and rub my toes and chew off my fingernails because I don't want to cut them, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
Huh?
how you get somebody to do this for you?
Yeah.
Dropping them off, chauffeuring them.
I know. Bringing them food,
calling
feeding
them
them.
their Uber driver and like, you better wait in the lobby.
Yeah, all this and all that. Baby, I love you. I'll just be out here. I'm like, me and my man are going to counseling. I'm like, well, what's happening? How do I get this? Just kidding.
Speaking of counseling, I was in a relationship some time ago and we went to counseling and we went to like 5 sessions. I really hated her fucking guts. I'm so tempted to say her name, which I'm a therapist too. So I was like in all the same therapist groups and she was talking shit on us in the therapist group. And I'm like,
What?
Yeah.
That's unethical.
She really didn't. I should have turned her into the board. But anyways, I was in this relationship and she kept beating around the bush. And I said, will this relationship last? She goes, it's like you're in a 3-legged race and you have a handicap and y'all tripped. I said, so that's enough. She's like, I can't say. And I was like, I'm leaving. And I slammed the door. And I looked back and I said, I'm not paying for this. But anyways, back to the crazy clients. So what's interesting though, is I feel like there's like this kind of common theme of like an insecurity. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's like they're like accumulating all these like suitors, if you will.
Right.
Just to kind of like make sure they got it like that. And they're very well kept women too.
No, they're gorgeous.
Like you would never think that. And then sometimes they like, it's weird because grain of salt, but they'll like spend other people's money, but they'll nickel and dime it also too. And I'm like, I mean,
where are we going with this?
Is this glucose guardian got all the sugar? Like, I don't know what's happening.
Is he a sugar daddy or a Splenda daddy?
Ugh.
Stevia.
Oh, but you know what's funny too is like the relationships where, what was that story where like two of the women were like, the guy was like separating from somebody and they ended up in the same salon and they were like, I can't have my appointment when she's here or whatever.
Well, yeah, they, I don't even know that whole story because one just happened to be my client and the other one happened to be another girl's client. One girl was dating her husband who they weren't divorced yet. And I'm like, wow, y'all, I didn't even know that. Like, it seemed to be cool.
Which probably the man's fault for like saying like, it's over.
Totally the fucking man's fault.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then I see the dude and I'm like, this is who y'all are beefing over? Like, for real? Not that he's like unattractive, but I'm like,
he's
this
probably
guy,
ugly. I didn't see him.
He's
like, probably ugly.
I'm like, it's just, I'm like, why are y'all fighting over him? But anyway, so yeah. And then she was like, I can't, get my hair done at that location. So I have to go to another location of yours, which we only have one now. So I don't know.
Or even like, two women like quarreling because they've had like a falling out between each other, like even like service wise. That was interesting.
That was interesting.
Not that it got catty, but it was just like the silence. And
I think it was.
Like, I was like, why are you acting weird? And they're like, I'm just chilling.
Yeah, it was very tense.
Yeah, I didn't know what was happening. But my favorite, so I have to tell like a backstory. So my friend, Ashley, got your little shout out. She was like, hey, come hang out with us. We're going to go to VZD's. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? Go in. And I walk right in front of the stage. And it is like literally like Metallica, like hair blown in the wind. And I'm like the only black guy there. And I'm like, did I come to right? Because everybody's like staring at me. Like, if you've seen Charlie's Angels with Cameron Diaz, it's like when she goes to Soul Train and they pull her up on the stage. Yeah. And everybody's like, what?
Yeah.
That's how they were looking at me. And anyways, I say that because I was just there at VZD's, but a client got beat up at VZD's.
I know it.
And it was like the
over the guys.
Was that the same?
Yep, same one.
That's what I thought. She was like, that bitch kept kicking my chair or something and cussing me out, blah, blah, blah. And it was like 2-on-1. They beat her up in the parking lot. And then some random lady was like, I've been fighting bitches all my life.
Yeah, she just went out there and like regulated and then just went back in to finish her drinks, I guess. She didn't even know the girl. And I'm like,
Like late 40s, she's just like looking like a biker.
You'll never catch me fighting over any men or anything.
I mean, I haven't really been in a fight, but I think that I would love it. like I would say, I don't miss unless a bitch ducks. But no, what else has happened with like, I just hate the word narcissist though, because I'm like,
I feel like that they do throw it around because I feel like for someone to be a true narcissist, I feel like it's an actual diagnosis and a condition. Not that but I mean,
I should know it off the top of my head, but I can tell you what it's not. It's like you're pairing up with selfish people because like narcissists tend to date somebody that's actually hugely insecure and like low self-esteem and that they can manipulate. And so I'm like, when I hear these clients say like, oh, I'm with a narcissist, I'm like, your personality is too strong for that.
Right.
Like
if you're just in here telling the story, then you're probably not with one. Yeah. Because it's like true abuse.
They won't let you go.
No.
Yeah. Like they need to latch on to you.
Yeah.
I thought I was dating a narcissist once.
I don't think I've ever dated one. Probably thought that I had, but.
What's your worst dating story ever?
Oh, God.
I got to think of one, though, too.
The worst dating story, meaning like the worst boyfriend I've ever had?
I mean, however far you want to go with this.
Or, oh, gosh. Well, my high school boyfriend was a total dick. Whatever, fine. I could talk about a couple times that Josh got arrested. That's always fun on his birthday.
Josh is going to hate us after this.
I know he is. I don't care.
Said with love.
I don't think I've ever dated a narcissist. I did date a guy for a long time. And we were like in love, all this stuff. I lived downtown. And I was like, I would take him to work every day. Or no, I would take him to like his parents' house. He would ride to work with his dad. And then one day I came home during lunch because I had forgot my debit card and I needed to pay a ticket. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to pay the speeding ticket online. I've got to pay it like today by 5 or else it'll like turn into a warrant. So I go home and this motherfucker's eating ice cream just in my bed. And I'm like, what? What are you doing here?
Or something?
Yes. I was like, what is happening? He's like, well, my dad brought me back. He said, my dad brought me back home. And I'm like, okay.
So he was fake working.
He wasn't fucking working.
But he told you he was.
Oh, yeah. I thought he was working for like 8 months. Wasn't working.
So I got to ask questions.
Well, yeah, because I really thought, okay, cool, great. You know, I'm stupid.
Yeah.
I was a lot younger then. That's probably I was like, you got to get the hell out of here. After that, I was like, I'm not. And I.
Like, did he just, you walk in, did he just like lay there like, what's up?
Yeah,
or did he like try and jump up and like, I'm so sorry, I'm caught?
No, he was just like, oh, hey, you're here? Duh. I'm here.
I live here, bitch.
Right. He had a key to my apartment, which was no big deal. But I was like, why am I? Oh, turns out, yeah, he was bad news. And he did not want to let me go. I still don't think that he was a narcissist, but oh yeah, I got all like, I started a job. This is after I graduated hair school. I was bartending and he would like walk around the building because he wasn't allowed in there. And he would like, you know, send me like suicide texts, like, I'm going to do it. I'm like, okay, go for it. Because at this point, I'm like, leave me alone. This is whenever me and my kid's father first started dating. And, he didn't put sugar in his gas tank, broke his nose. Tons of crazy stories. He will still call me every now and again to this day. I won't answer.
I kind of want to love like this.
Hell, you know what? My friend Monica said that. My friend Monica, she was like, oh my God, that's so sweet. I'm like, what, that he just broke his nose? That is not cool.
Okay,
she's like, he loves you. Yeah. I'm like, that's not love.
Like, push me up against the
That's
back,
weird.
alley.
But yeah, that was probably the weirdest. I've had like bad dates, you know, whatever, stupid drama, but that was probably the worst. But I still don't think he was a narcissist by any means.
No, he's just unstable.
Yeah, very much.
I like that.
No.
I guess it's my turn. So I really like this guy years and years ago. Probably like 6 years ago where it all began. What should I call him? Well, B. His name was B.
Okay.
And I kind of was like dating at the time, but he was like the serious one.
Yeah.
And he'll probably never hear this, but I should have known something was wrong. The first time we hung out, he said, can we watch my favorite movie? I think I had to be like 26 going on 27. And he was like 23, 24. And he was like, I said, what's your favorite movie? He goes, Trolls. We laid in bed and watched Trolls twice. And he knew every word and every song. And then he listened to the soundtrack. Yeah. Skipping through all of whatever. So we like hardcore dated for like 30 days.
That was your first date, was Trolls?
I had just bought a house around that time. So this had to be like October. And he came over, whatever. We'd hang out a lot. He had this big old dog, whatever. He would never get out of bed. Like, he was super depressed and like to fix me. I'm like, oh my God, I can help. like, the therapist, this is so cool, whatever. And then he ended up making me write his college papers. And then one day I was like, oh, what'd you get on the paper? And he goes, I fucking failed. Mind you, I didn't like read anything. And I said, well, what grade did you get? And he got like a C minus. And I said, that's pretty good considering I wrote it 30 minutes before it was due and I had no idea what it was about. He was just like, well, I'm going to fail the class. And I was like, okay. So anyways, I think this is the order of events. So my really good friend who I've been roommates with for a long time, he was getting married and I was in his wedding. So the night before I was over B's apartment and he like made me decorate his whole apartment. I say made me. I said, I'll help you.
Yeah.
And he ended up he was like, put that there. That looks ugly. Why would you put that there? Blah, blah, blah. I know. Poor me for letting this happen. But so then I was like, hey, do you want to come to the wedding? He goes, I don't know any of your fucking friends. Why would I go to this wedding?
Why is he like being aggressive?
Was mean. Like when he was nice, he was nice.
Right.
But you know you're in trouble when you have to explain it like that, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, I get to the wedding and he likes texting me. He's like, what are you doing? And I was like, you know, I'm in the wedding. And I also have to sing at this wedding. I forgot. It was a Carrie Underwood like church song in this like big old church cathedral. But anyways, he texted me and he was like, and I fucking hated this. He called me Anthony. And I like the name Anthony, but it's my dad's name. So I'm like, don't call me Anthony.
Well, you're AJ.
Right. And he was like, well, I think it's a beautiful name, so I'm going to call you Anthony. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then let's speed this up. He breaks up with me. He was like, I'll never be good enough. You just act like you're better than me. But and I was like, are you going to pay me the money back that I like? Because he was like, let's go out to eat. And then he texts me on table. He's like, I didn't make any tips at Red Lobster, so can you like pay
but
for
like
it?
really?
Yeah, and that's how it happened like all the time. And stupid me, I'm just like, I'm in love. He breaks up with me. Then he like texts me like a couple months later out of the blue. And he's like, I'm so sorry, like let's hang out. And I'm like, okay, cool, I really liked you. I don't know why I did it. He came back, he stayed the night at my house and he's like, I got a paper to write. Can I use your computer? Like, I'm just weird about my personal stuff or whatever.
Well, yeah.
So it was like a Saturday. I was supposed to like go to work. A client canceled on me. And so one of my friends like was like, hey, do you want to go get lunch? I'm like, okay, that works out perfect or whatever. So that happens and then like Monday comes around. So I'm going, I worked at OU Edmond. So he's there and I'm like 50 minutes away. I get this phone call and he's like, Anthony, what are we? And I said, what do you mean? He's like, what would you say me and you are? I said, we're talking. He was like, you're a fucking cheater. And like, you can tell he like slams his phone down. Everything in me is like, turn the car around. I turn around. I come in my house, brand new house, like probably 2 months old, 3 months old. He took everything out of my refrigerator and threw it up the walls. It was like Thai food. So it was like oil. Like I had to repaint it myself 4 times. I had apples and I like pre-made like cold coffee. He like threw it all over my kitchen because it's like all open. And I said, what are you even talking about? And he was like, I read your iMessages. You're supposed to be at work and you're meeting with people. And I said, did you finish reading it? Because we'd never like met up. And I was like, I'm not even like interested in this guy. And he was like, you're a fucking liar. You're a cheater.
Oh my God.
He was like, Anthony, I fucking loved you. And he like pushed me up against the wall and I just started laughing. And he was like, I wanted to marry you. Then Tracy, he opens up closets in my house and he had clothes in there that I never knew. He didn't have a key to my house. So I don't know when he put these clothes in my closet. It was like a coat closet. And he was like, you're lucky I didn't fucking key your car or break your laptop. He goes, and that TV looks real big and easy to shatter. So I had apples. What? I don't know why I remember this. I had apples in my refrigerator and he threw them so hard that they exploded. And I had like the cork floor, like the wood look.
Yeah.
He dented them with apples. That's how hard he threw them at the ground.
Wow. I thought my weird story was bad.
Yeah. I still talk to him after that, though. It was fun.
Oh, my God.
It went on for like a couple more months. He never came back to my house, though.
No.
But surprisingly, like nothing was stained except my walls. Like he just kind of threw it in the kitchen area. So B, thanks for the memories. I still kind of miss you. Call me. Just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. So why did you guys really quit talking? I'm just kidding.
I actually don't remember. I think I just kind of got like, I thought he was going to kill me at one point, not to be dramatic.
Yeah. Well,
he was like, can we talk? And I was like, okay. And he was like, come pick me up. And I was like, where do you want to go? He took me to like Thunderbird in the middle of the night.
Oh boy.
And then he told me that his family probably wouldn't accept me because I was black. I was
that's
like,
not
well,
nice.
that's great.
You're like, awesome.
I was like, I don't know if we should get married. I mean, I never thought about it with him, but
wow.
Maybe I should stay single.
Maybe not. It'll
Who
happen.
knows? But yeah, your stylists have crazy stories too.
Oh yeah, my love life has been tumultuous. It's not anymore, but it's probably about 10 years ago. Everyone would be like, "Why don't you write a blog or have like a reality show with all these things that you have going on?" And it's not like I was like hoeing around. It was just, I'm like, how do I hook up with these crazy dudes? Like, I don't want to. That's why, like, Josh, he'll always like, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure that if we ever broke up, you would just be on Tinder all the time. And I'm like scared of the general public, honestly. I was like, because it's just so weird. And there's crazy women out there too, like big time. So, I mean.
My favorite story of Josh, and you're probably sick of me telling this, but it's just the funniest thing. Because like Josh's first thing when he thinks y'all are about to break up or something, he's like, you probably already got somebody and blah, blah,
always
blah.
Says that.
And then he comes in and he was like, are you cheating on me or whatever? You know the story, but he's like, you're like, why would you say that? And he's like, whose cigarettes are these on the table? You're like, I don't even.
They're his.
They were his.
That he got from my ex. I'm like, that's y'all's friendship.
And he was like, oh, I forgot.
He was like, never mind. Just forget everything that I just said. I'm like.
You're like, get out of here.
I'm like, this is why. Yeah. Oh, no. I've woke up to him like, I'm like, what's that light shining? He's knelt down going through my phone. I'm like, what is happening right now? He's like, your phone was going off. I'm like, okay, so you just go through it?
Yeah.
I mean, our phones always go off, like clients, and it'll be like 2 a.m. You'll get appointment requests.
Yeah, but
so we need to talk about that on our other episode, like what it's like dating a hairstylist.
Yes.
That was like, we'll have to talk about that sometime because that's like the biggest fights that I've been in, and it's all stems from the job.
We could have a whole episode on Josh, though.
We can. We will probably.
Like, is AJ really gay? Because
Oh yeah,
that was a funny one too. And I was like,
he's
Josh,
like,
you met me.
He's like, I don't know. He doesn't really seem gay. I'm like, what does that even mean? So you can pick out again? I'm like, he's like, no, he seems pretty straight. I'm like, okay, but either way, even if he is, like, what does that mean? And then whenever he says things like, I don't even like you going out with your friends because guys, I said, is that how you are? Are you just like some weird pervert walking around like slipping stuff in women's drinks? Because that's how Josh says, no, you don't need to go here because these guys are going to put stuff in your drink. AJ straight. He's just trying to get in and like mess around with you.
You don't need to cut dude's hair.
I don't even cut men's hair anymore.
No.
I don't. His, and I cut my kid's father. That's it. Because
and that's kind of rare. I think I've seen that like twice.
Yeah. I mean,
But
Josh only.
Josh is, I mean, the bright side is he's really protective.
Yeah, he is protective.
He won't even let you walk certain areas of the parking lot. He's like, watch out, Tracy, there's rough terrain.
No, he does say that. He's like, there's a puddle right here. Watch out. He's like, let me curl my eyelashes first.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's kind of it we kind of just like went from stylist dating crazy to, I love hearing about client stories and their dates.
Yeah.
We have yet to see any of their men act up besides the one.
That's our Halloween episode.
Oh yeah, that's definitely coming up.
Scary stylist stories.
Yes.
I almost died. Just, a teaser.
Yes.
And it could be ongoing.
I kind of wish that it would be, not for your safety matters more than anything, but I'm like,
it's just interesting.
It's very
and it gets like
interesting.
so layered. But anyways, we'll stop teasing you with that.
Yes.
Because that's a great one.
Yeah.
And we got permission to talk about it.
Oh, totally. Which I love.
I wanted to be
we didn't even have to ask. She's like, yeah, she's going to be. But we didn't even have to ask. She was like, please talk about blah, blah, blah.
That was the best DM we ever got.
I know.
So far.
Yes.
But anyways.
Okay, well, I guess that's it.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. We just like ramble sometimes. We do have topics and points that we like to cover, though.
Yeah, but sometimes you just got to get it out. Mm-hmm. This is Hair Mafia. Exposing all.
Exposing all. Bye.